Hi, my name is Filomena Campus. I'm a Theatralia artistic director. I live in London. I'm originally from Sardinia, Italy. And I'm gonna reply today to some questions I got from you, Partha, and these are my thoughts and experience. You asked me a small introduction about my theatre. I'm gonna read some notes so I don't go in other places talking and talking, so I'm gonna stick to the point. I left the island, my beloved island of Sardinia, to move to London to attend an MA in theatre directing in 2001. I thought that I would go back home after the master, but then I decided to stay here because I realized there were so many more opportunities for theatre and jazz. I am also a jazz singer, composer, and I'm a university lecturer, and I have to say London really can offer a proper opportunity to artists, much more than Sardinia, that is a small island, gorgeous but small. And I decided also to stay in London because of its beautiful atmosphere. There is a great vibe, and it's full of people, and especially because of its multicultural environment. That's the most precious thing we got here in London. We get people from all over the world, all the languages, everything is here, and I really like that. It's a very important source of inspiration and of life as well. I believe theatre is a sacred space and a very powerful tool. I think that to be on stage we need to have something to say, otherwise it is better to do another job. Too often I see performances made only to entertain, and I think that is not enough. No, not for me. It's not acceptable considering the difficult times we are all living. We cannot afford to be superficial when we are on stage. Theatre directing is for me an extraordinary creative way of expressing my vision, my passion for putting together ideas, putting together people who have never worked together. I've created a Theatralia Jazz Festival, for example, between UK and Italy, when I put together musicians, artists, writers from the two countries and put them on stage, and they do amazing improvisations or new projects. I've been lucky in my life to meet some of my greatest masters and performers, activists, practitioners. I'm gonna mention some of them. I'm sure you will know many of them. Augusto Boal, Franca Rame, Dario Fo, Stefano Benni, Marco Paolini, Eugenio Barba, Roberta Carreri, Odin Teatret, Judith Malina, Living Theatre, Peter Brook, Marcello Magni of Complicité, Marina Abramovic, Pina Bausch, Federico Fellini. Of course I didn't meet him, but he's been an inspiration. Many others, of course. My work has also been inspired by the greatest fantastic jazz musicians I've been so lucky to meet here in London and in Italy, particularly in London, because they really welcomed me when I arrived 20 years ago in London, and they helped me so much, and they taught me how to improvise, and it's been the most amazing experience in my life. I really found a family here, and I'm still singing with some of the people I started singing in 2001, and I'm so grateful because they are such an inspiration. I'm also visiting lecturer in some universities. I taught many years at E15 University of Essex. I was the course coordinator for the MA in theatre directing, and now I'm visiting lecturer at Central School of Speech and Drama and other courses here in UK. You also asked me about my theatre method, philosophy and language. Now, I like theatre that fascinates, that creates different worlds. I'm not interested in realism. A theatre that shows you another possibility, another world, a theatre that can help you see the reality today, to raise awareness, of course, about the situation we are living in, but also to encourage to have an opinion and not to turn your head on the other side. I agree with Augusto Boal, who said that theatre is a form of knowledge. It should and can also be a means of transforming society. Theatre can help us build our future, rather than just waiting for it. Theatre is a responsibility. On stage, in the rehearsal room, in the theatre class with my students, it's a responsibility to encourage, inspire, facilitate work in a group, in an ensemble, to create a safe environment to enhance creativity, to inspire, challenge, develop skills, to exchange skills, to push the limits of our comfort zone, our imagination, and to engage the audience in an active way, not just passive observers. In all my projects, I've worked on issues that were important for me. I directed pieces with international performers from all over the world. I like multicultural ensembles. I think it's amazing. And also with different skills. I don't work only with actors, but with visual artists, digital artists, aerial artists, jazz musicians, of course, writers, and so on. Dancers as well. I love contemporary dance. And I love physical theatre. I really believe that work should start from the body, not just from the brain. That we need to engage our body as much as we can. I like to use multimedia in my theatre work, sometimes, not always, but maybe because moving in a different country, the linguistic code became less important than other means of communication. So that's why I prefer to use physical theatre, movement, music, dance, projections, masks, communication codes that can reach people regardless the language they speak, a universal language. That's why I'm also very interested in the work of Odin Teatret, because they really work on the anthropology and the source of a very genuine action. When working on a new production, I put together an ensemble of artists with different skills. I wish I could have months of rehearsals, but to be honest, in London it's really, really difficult because it's really hard to get fundings, to get money for a rehearsal space, to get money to pay the artist and everybody. So sometimes we have to create performances in 3 weeks, 3 weeks rehearsal if we are lucky. And then we start with a run, which I found very limiting, and sometimes it really crushes my creativity. It's really, really difficult to work in this situation. I'm not very interested in theatre-based theatre, because I see theatre as a sort of magic box that contains many codes of communication, create new languages, and above all, the magic of the relationship between performers and the audience. The third question is, what do you search through your theatre? What do I search through my theatre? Well, Franca Rame and Dario Fo's theatre taught me that in our theatre we have to talk about the times we live in, which means we need to be informed, to know what's happening around us, to be aware, to study, to read, to get involved. Odin Teatret inspired me to explore my own theatre language, my style, my voice, starting from improvisation. That, because of my work as well as a jazz musician, as a jazz vocalist, I try to apply in both contexts, discovering how much they can enrich each other. I believe vocal and jazz improvisation has so much in common with theatre improvisation, a magnificent tool that can be applied to both disciplines. So at the moment I'm researching on this field. And this is also the way I start my work, through vocal improvisation sometimes, or improvisation around a theme in theatre, and how I can develop this process. In the two different editions, in 2008 and 2009 and then 2017 of Monk Misterioso, you see the old poster of the first performance and you hear the music of Thelonious Monk in the background. In the production Monk Misterioso that had a huge success, it was sold out at the London Jazz Festival at King's Place, and also years ago at the Riverside Studios in London. We also took it to Italy, to Rocella Ionica Jazz Festival, and to Edinburgh at Queen's Hall, Assembly Queen's Hall at the Fringe Festival in 2008. In Monk Misterioso, I had actors and jazz musicians performing together on stage, and I applied the jazz improvisation structure to the theatre show in a way similar to the way we use when we improvise on a jazz tune. So there is a clear structure, for example, let's say a song with 32 bars, a melody and a harmony, a specific rhythm and time. Repeating the structure, we keep playing, improvising, following the same structure, but creating new melodies on the same structure. So we keep playing, creating new melodies, and the interplay among the musicians is vital, and we need to listen carefully to each other, support who is soloing, helping, enriching their solo, and we all need to then come back to the main melody at the same time together, at the same beat, at the same bar, to sing the song, to sing the head together, to finish the song with the original melody. I found that applying this structure to the theatre has opened many possibilities, using a clear structure in the theatre space where there are moments open to improvisation. Jazz musicians have a skill for improvising, of course, also with the text. They've been fantastic, as well as the actors, I have to say. Sometimes more genuine because they don't have the actors training. So look out for jazz musicians on stage. Don't put them in the pit, because they can be amazing on stage. In my work, I only direct texts or scripts I fall in love with. I have to love it. But I also need to freely adapt them. So the writers need to be very good with me, and I have to be good with them, because sometimes I can change completely the way they wrote it. But I respect the essence of what they wrote. And to finish, when I directed Franca Rame and Dario Fo's monologue about the condition of women in Woman Alone with the physical theatre students at the University of Essex, they contributed with many beautiful ideas and creative moments that were then used in the performance. I discussed with Franca Rame herself many ideas on the phone. She's been a fantastic guide for me in that process. She was so generous with her advice and guidance for my directing, a real master and a real friend. It was a challenge to devise monologue with a group of 20 performers, and Marcello Magni, one of the founders of Complicité, helped us with the group movement and choreography, being one of the major experts of physical theatre. You can find some extracts of the show in Michele Lulanzone by Franca Rame that I directed. Fourth question. You want to create a global platform for the creatives. What is your view on it? I think it's a brilliant idea, Partha. Theatre is the best means to bring people and artists together. And the global platform is needed. And it means we could exchange ideas, information, knowledge, work, videos, material, all sorts of things. It would be great also to find a way for artists to meet one day when we can get out of the lockdown, to organize workshops, talks and events to bring us together. This is something Odin Teatret has been doing for years with their festivals created by Giulia Varli, the Transit Festival, and workshops with the ISTA, the International School of Theatre Anthropology. So it would be great to have a digital platform as well, where we could all contribute. And I hope to see you one day in India or in London or somewhere else, in my island of Sardinia maybe. A huge hug to everybody and keep up the good work. Ciao.